People called me crazy when I covered this game as a gacha game. Before it became the game that it is now, people said it looked terrible. Back just a couple months ago when they held its demo, people were saying this game looks like a crappy Genshin Impact clone with terrible gameplay, terrible characters, terrible story, terrible voice. And look at it now. Dragon Sword Awakening sales top 200,000 PlayStation and Nintendo versions underway. If you look at the Steam store, you'll see that it's rated very positive. 92% of the 1,727 user reviews in our language, English, are positive. 92%, which means 8% are negative. That is a crazy number. When you look at the graph, there are just hundreds and hundreds of positive reviews left every single day and just a couple dozen negative. That's it. Concurrent players have been very good. It launched to 15,000, spiked at 23,000, and has maintained approximately 15,000 or above every single day since. But since this isn't a gacha game, it does have what I believe to be a finite life cycle, meaning that people are going to get into the game and then they're going to, in theory, finish the game. This is a premium game with an actual price tag. Surprise hit 2026 Korean RPG coming to PlayStation. And not only is it coming to PlayStation though, developer Hound 13 announced that its latest game, Dragon Sword Awakening, was getting PlayStation and Nintendo Switch versions in the future. The game launched on PC just last week. Currently no release date or even things that such as specific console generations have yet to be announced. 200,000 units sold in its first week alone. This game is going to sell probably hundreds of thousands more across PlayStation, across Nintendo, and across PC. I guarantee you, this game is going to become a breakout hit. Probably one of the breakout hits of the year. There are so many different news blogs, gaming blogs, websites, content creators all covering this. And then there's this article right here. Dragon Sword hits overwhelmingly positive Steam rating, surpasses 200,000 units sold. How we perceive Steam is from a global perspective, not a Korean perspective. This game originally released as a Korean gacha game, and it was available for approximately a month. Then Webzen, they just kind of stabbed it, and then they shut it down within a month because it wasn't financially lucrative. And then there was this big like ongoing legal battle between the OG developers and then the publisher, and then Webzen. I did dedicate a video on this just a couple days ago going over everything, but they attempted to thwart the success, and then ultimately the courts ruled in favor of the developers and the game managed to release. But the Korean players only got it for a month. But according to this picture right here, which is a Korean version of Steam, there are 795. I'm guessing those are positive comments. Dragon Sword Awakening, an action RPG developed by Hound 13, has achieved the highest rating of overwhelmingly positive. Wait, what was it on global? Was it very positive or was it? Yeah, so it was very positive for global, overwhelmingly positive in Korean. That's impressive. That means the Korean players enjoyed it even more than the global players did. And it looks like there are almost 800 reviews. There were 1,700 for global, which means that the Korean players made up potentially almost half the total reviewers. That's insane. Steam's rating system calculates the game's score based on the ratio of positive or negative reviews left by players. For games with over 500 reviews, a positive ratio of 95% or higher earns a top overwhelmingly positive grade, which means that a minimum of 95% of Korean players rated this positively to this extent. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. A positive ratio of 95% or higher earns the top overwhelmingly positive grade. Because games with fewer reviews cannot reach this top tier regardless of their ratio, achieving the status requires consistent high praise from a large number of users. And if you look anywhere online, that is all this game is getting. For Dragon Sword Awakening, over 95% of its approximately 800 Korean reviews are positive, while its overall rating across all languages remains very positive with over 90% positive feedback out of roughly 5,000 reviews. Well, there were 92% positive, actually. That's even higher now. Just 3% more. It becomes overwhelmingly positive. So if you guys want to go ahead and review it, now's your chance. Since its launch, the game has seen a peak of 23,000 concurrent players, which is exceptional for an anime game, by the way, especially a game that so many people were talking smack about in my video, talking smack about on Reddit. It continues to receive acclaim from a global audience. With approximately 700,000 wishlists maintained post-launch, the game is well positioned for long-term success through ongoing updates and seasonal discounts. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that since they took this premium approach, they are in fact going to release some kind of update for it, or maybe a sequence of updates for it to keep players playing, because they're gonna need it. I mean, they've made a lot of money from this, millions of dollars, and they're going to continue to make millions more, and they deserve it because the game's goddamn good. It's very fun. Hound 13 announced that Dragon Sword Awakening reached 200,000 cumulative sales within 1 week of its official Steam release. That's actually kind of insane, though. There are AAA budget, like RPGs and just video games in general that release onto console that can't cross 200,000 cumulative sales within 1 week. I think the Tales of games even struggle to make several 100,000 cumulative sales within their first week. Tales of Arise, which was the most recent Tales of game, sold 1 million copies in its first week, and it was the fastest selling game in the franchise's history. That's it. Tales of Exilia, which was another popular Tales of game, only sold 500,000 units. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which was a resounding success, sold 100,000 physical copies in its first week in Japan, which made it the biggest physical launch for the series in that region. The game has done phenomenally. The developer is currently working on PlayStation and Nintendo versions alongside continuous updates for the Steam version. Plans include sequential improvements to UI and accessibility, enhancements to translation and voice quality, and the addition of new characters and story content. So this is what's important. New characters, new story content, which means they have plans on actually furthering the game. Maybe putting some of this money towards a new game, maybe a new gacha game, maybe something AAA budget, console, PC. It seems like their audience really, genuinely, truly does appreciate it and like it. The studio also intends to complete the story of the current setting Orbis via DLC before expanding the world with a new region, the Floating Islands. They already have a lot of content planned, and the game is only going to continue to expand from here. That is fantastic. Like, genuinely, I could not be prouder. I've been covering this game since its inception on this channel specifically. It is so just absolutely brilliant to see the success that they have garnered. The Hounds 13 CEO Park Jung-sik expresses gratitude to players worldwide for their support despite challenging circumstances, reaffirming the company's commitment to increasing the game's quality through consistent updates and the development of console versions. Again, bra freaking vow. This game is great. I'm glad it's doing well, and they deserve all the success that they're achieving. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.